Before I start this video, quick notice, about 5 days ago I got my second COVID shot and I felt really bad, so this is why the video didn't go up on Wednesday. I got really weird effects and I was a little bit scared, so sorry for being late and enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome to Metagame Monday, where I take a look at a popular team archetype and explain how and why its sets work, how to beat it, and how it matches up against other archetypes in form of replays. Now, today's team is quite the definition of good stuffs. What is good stuffs? You stack good Pokemon on a team, you don't know how to call it, like what kind of acronym you want to give it, like rate good? That doesn't sound quite right, so I'm just going to call this team quite literally good stuffs. You just stack Incineroar, Fini, Glastrier, Semi-Truck, Urshifu, Regieleki. All the generalists are on this team, and it, surprise surprise, it works. So, yeah, let's start explaining the main mode of this team, and that's probably the Dusclops. Now, Dusclops is unique in the fact it got Haze, and Haze is very valuable in the current metagame. Mostly because Celesteela likes to boost defenses, and Glastrier would not like the attack boosted defenses. So not only Haze actually removes the defense boost from Celesteela, it also removes Intimidate from Glastrier, which is probably the more important node, which allows Glastrier to guarantee to KO an Incineroar on the switch and get an attack boost. If it would just knock out Incineroar on the switch in, it would just get the neutral attack, but this way it's just much more effective. So that's why we have Haze, and do not remove Haze. It's shaping this whole archetype. Another good note is the fact that Dusclops got a Highlight, Ghost typing. Dusclops is Ghost, so it actually beats Registeel, which is apparently on quite a rise right now. So, I mean, I believe it got top 8 in Hatterini series, and it might have gotten even further. I did not study the full team roster during the tournament, but I'd say like Registeel's on the rise. A lot of people use it on ladder. Hatterini series had some usage of Registeel, so right now I would really watch out for Registeel. And you know what? Not only we got Haze to support your teammates from just being absolutely obliterated by body press, you also got Ghost typing, which makes you immunized and guaranteed win in the late game. Just use Nightshade and it cannot touch you. Almost all Registeel have Amnesia now instead of the Steel move, and even with the Steel move they would just do nothing. And even though they got Leftovers and Protect, you would just add damage. It would do like what, 10% at best. Maybe they can flinch you with Iron Head, but enough of that. Alright, EV spread on Dusclops. I chose a quite neutral EV spread on Dusclops. I believe this is better actually. Since you get breakpoint here on these defense, you get like 2 extra defense points, and rest is put in a special defense. Now you can purposefully EV your Dusclops. Either you go max special defense, so you take helping get max lightning from a standard Regieleki right now, which is supposed. Regieleki is actually, I believe, designed to destroy this archetype, so surviving that might not be a bad idea, especially since in Players Cup you got open team sheets, but they cannot see your EVs and stats, so you can basically best upon your opponent with that EV spread. Or you can just straight up go max defense, which allows you to take a Wicked Blade from Choice Band Urshifu guaranteed, which is not too common, but it's not unheard of. So yeah, I believe I would personally probably run a neutral EV spread, since no one expects to face up against that. Basically, it's like people assume your EV spread will have a purpose, but this EV spread doesn't have much purpose other than just take attacks. So that's why I think it's the best one. Urshifu is pretty standard. I'm not going to even explain that. So this is the best moveset. Stab, crit, stab, sucker punch for priority, focus sash. So you take these take attacks from third types, which are everywhere, and you take a airstream boost, like airstream attack as well, which are very common in current metagame. Airstream users, max airstream users, that is. Regieleki is usually choice packs on this team. I don't know why, but it's great. The choice packs for Regieleki might be on the rise right now as well, since I believe not Dynamaxing of Regieleki might come useful as well. Regieleki, if you want to use Regieleki the other way around, that being not Choice Specs variant, you kind of have to go for Life Orb to get that extra power boost, and you need to get Follow Me and Helping Hand. Choice Specs for Agility does not need in any of that. You can just Dynamax something else, and it got a huge power behind it. Of course, it comes with downsides. It's not as bulky, but it wins this, because the other Agility actually is bulky, this one it guarantees wins the speed type, which is not that, and you can just Electro up them and put them in like Urshifu speed tiers, so it's great to go for Agility speed ties again for those who use the bulky Agility for a while. Other than that, Electro Ball is just great, it hits. No, I'm not sure, but I believe if your target is below 87 speed, you get 150 base power electric attack out of Electro Ball, so that means you hit almost every Grimmsnarl for 150 base power. You hit some Incineroars for 150 base power. You definitely hit Glastrier, B2 and Dusclops for 150 base power. So yeah, Electro Ball is great. It hits really hard. It does really hit hard. Yeah, it got no other ability. You just want to go for the speed dice if you're running specs. Winning Electro up speed dice might be game changing. Or you can go for like Sucker Punch and win a speed tie and just knock out their opponents where you like. You can go for like Volt Switch to just... Yeah, Volt Switching away is also great thing this Regulator can do. At Blistering Speed, you can just go for Volt Switch, switch to something that's bulky to take the attack, and you preserve the Choice Specs power and Regulator for later in the game. This Incineroar... Wait, what was that? That's definitely a wrong EV spread, excuse me. Yeah. So I'm actually going to show you a different EV spread because I just went to calculator after like 6 months not EVing Incineroar, and I just discovered that my EV spread has been a little bit flawed. Alright, this is the one. So basically you can go two ways with this Incineroar. You either are going to be absolute mega turbo to win every single so you outspeed every single other Incineroar to go for a taunt before they can taunt you. Not only you can taunt them to prevent their taunt onto you, you can also taunt them Parting Shot, which might be just great for the Orphini that's setting up Calm Minds, or Glastrier that's trying to just get an actual attack off, because Intimidate plus Parting Shot is just too debilizing for Glastrier to do anything. So either you go absolute turbo to do that with taunt, or you just go bulky like I just did. And you actually accept you're gonna lose every single time with Incineroar, which is kind of annoying, but not too annoying. Like if you had Porygon 2, it would be just great to win a speed tie and fake out their Incineroar before they can fake out your Porygon 2. But you got Dusclops, which is just automatically immune to any kind of shenanigan, any kind of fake out shenanigans. So you can basically fake out their Incineroar. If they want to fake out your Incineroar, alright, just do so. You will set up Trick Room with Dusclops, and now you're gonna be the fast one on the Trick Room, and you're gonna taunt them before they can do Parting Shot, which is great. Because you can generally get a free Glastrier switch in as a result. Also, I believe you take Life Orb Max Quake from Glastrier, if you intimidate opponent's Glastrier, which is great. So yeah, that's what you got going for you. And also I believe you just one-shot a Life Orb G-Max Venusaur with Flower Blitz on her son, which is quite common because Venusaur's best friend is Torkoal in fact. This type of Fini is pretty standard as well. Now, I don't know what this defensive E-spread does. I forget a lot of things, I believe. Alright, so basically the speed is quite obvious. Speed on Fini actually just straight up wins you late games. There are a lot of late games where Fini is the last thing standing and you want to win as many speed ties as you can. So you, for example, set up Calm Mind before they can strike you with their Moonblast, so you get all. And as a result, you're going to get a Moonblast off against their lower special defense as well. You can get Moonblast special attack drops before they can get their Moonblast special attack drops. And it's just great to win the speed ties. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've seen some more than 130 speed Finis on a ladder. What was I running? I believe I was running some kind of club body weakness plus a sweeper. And they just straight up outsped me. Was that Metagross with a minimum speed? No, that's just ridiculous. You would have to have 136 speed to outspeed that Metagross, and they ran it with leftovers. Some people are just insane. Some people just want to watch the world burn. If you run this much speed, you probably lose some power. You're already losing some offensive power here. Oh yeah, I decided to just probably go for like 1 as many speed tests as possible. And you just get a breakpoint on a hero with Modest. You see, you got 2 extra points. Yeah, this is actually better to run because Calm Mind, if it gets +1, it will boost the. If you got an even number, you will get 1 extra point from getting +1 special defense. If you got an odd number, you see these 2 stats boost the special defense by the exact same amount. So it's kind of a waste to get extra EV there. So running 20 special defense was a waste. And rest into defense, basically. Yeah, it's quite customizable EV spread. You can run like very minimal speed and like you can try to get the breakpoint here on a special attack. I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters at all. The stat changes are so abysmal that it doesn't really matter. Although special attack might be, but it's probably better to run more special attacks since you just get bigger hits off. And let's be honest with ourselves, Finny already is struggling to just get some major hits off, so maybe this EV spread is better. Hopefully you learned actually something new from this EV spreading idea. And excuse me that I didn't think of it much better before the video. Alright, and last one is Glastrier. Absolutely, actually, another good question. What is this EV spread doing? It's definitely... No, I think I know what this is doing. Alright. Let me bring out a Mr. Calculator here, because I believe this is an ancient EV spread for weakness for the Glastrier. I believe it's supposed to win as many speed tests with Glastrier while outspeeding or underspeeding Dusclops under Trick Room after you get a Rock Tomb against it. Wow. I was truly insane the past few months. Series 7 was a Wild West. Alright, but we... Yeah, again, Glastrier speed ties are the thing. You can go for just straight up minimum speed, just go for speed ties on the Trick Room. It's not my cup of tea, personally. I would like to just get as many speed tie ones as possible outside of the Trick Room. Yeah, so after Trick Room ends, or if I just try to halt the opponent's Trick Room with Taunt, I can always win the speed ties against their Glastrier. Also, running this much speed pretty much allows you to outspeed all of these Sword Stance Glastriers as well. And you get like Steel Spike before they can go for their own Steel Spike or Max Knuckle, which is just useful to just get a Steel Spike before they can get an attack off. Or you can just snipe their... actually, no. Now, this is a good Glastrier EV spread if you're going for like semi-Trick Room. The reason being, it actually outspeeds Clefairy. And some of these redirection setup sweeper teams with Regieleki actually like to run Clefairy with Sing. And this way you actually outspeed Clefairy by 1 point. And you just straight up Steel Spike it before they can attack. Just go for this this horrifying Sing off. Get there. Horrifying Sing off. So yeah. And yeah, you still get a breakpoint here. You still have such a titanically high attack that you just don't really care that if you get it lowered from like 216 to 209, it's not much of a change. And here you again get these odd numbers, so you get better boosts from Max Steel Spike and Max Quake. Remember what I told you in Tapu Fini. Alright, so this took much longer than I expected. That's mostly because I just had to fix EV spreads I did not even look at. I always look at these like sets. And like say, yeah, that's alright. But when I look at the video and I just really think about it, I might have to fix a few things. But at least you see me fix it live, so you just probably understand EV spreads even better if I fix it live. So, alright, so let's get to the matchup section right now. Alright, this is probably going to be the most scariest matchup because Not only is there like Intel Grimmsnarl to just slow down your Dusclops and remove the Violite, there is a Steel Spike in Celesteela just having straight up a positive matchup against our Glastrier. But you're gonna see it's not much of a problem if you just play smart, so let's see. Alright. Incineroar Regieleki. So what you want to do is lure the Grimmsnarl to go for like Intel here. And we're just simply going to Volt Switch, just in case the Celesteela has some kind of like protecting one. Yeah, just Parting Shot at Celesteela. Also, we just want to prevent possible weakness policy. And now we switch to Glastrier, which is, I mean, you're gonna see. This is gonna hurt, but we're gonna get Grimmsnarl removed, and the Dusclops is still quite safe. So you just remove the Grimmsnarl here. That's fantastic. Yeah, good stuff. Celesteela is still -1 special attack. Thank goodness for that, because otherwise they would have just straight up KO'd. We're just gonna Max Guard here. Yeah, Nightshade. Look at the Incineroar. Yeah, just they definitely want to KO the Glastrier. And here we go. I believe we just go for a knockout. No, we just knock out the Incineroar. They do not have much of a good switch in there. If they switch to Garchomp, it still kind of doesn't matter, since Dusclops has increased defenses. And we actually want that, we definitely want that Garchomp weakened a lot more than Incineroar weakened, since we got like Regieleki and Incineroar to take down the opponent's Incineroar. So actually, saving Garchomp for the last is actually the correct move for the opponent. Now, I believe, oh yeah, the last move Sports Dance, I want to explain that. So basically the Sports Dance was just quite basically to try to prevent Parting Shot cycling. But if you just go for double up on Celesteela, you just want to remove Celesteela first, right? And if Garchomp goes for the Earthquake, I believe he still win because the Dusclops just has increased defenses. You see how much damage that did? 18%. If opponent did not go for Sports Dance, this would have done how much? Well, 12%, yeah. And they got Life Orb, so they have to just weaken themselves. And next night should actually start knocks him out, so yeah. And also, if you got some HP problems with Dusclops, just go for Pain Split and it's just gonna solve itself. So yeah. It's still quite a scary matchup. Look how close it was, but we managed to win because you should try to trick the opponent to trick Lag and Tail onto the Regieleki, which is inferior choice to trick Lag and Tail to, because Dusclops should be the main one, or Glastrier. Alright, you didn't hear it or see it, but I had to look at the guinea pigs right now, because one of them was wicking quite loudly, and I just wanted to make sure that one of these guinea pigs is not asserting too much of a dominance behavior, that it's bullying the other one. Well, speaking of bullying, let's just see how you actually face up in a mirror matchup. Alright, let's see. Oh yeah, you want to go for Tapu Fini plus Incineroar for multitude of reasons. So basically what you want to do is a pincer attack on their Incineroar. You go for Calm Mind here. You hear these sirens? So basically you go for pincer attack. You taunt, either they allow their Incineroar to just get Max Geysered at +1 special attack and special defense, plus their Dusclops just gets taunted. Or they allow their our Incineroar to taunt their Incineroar, and we just kind of get a free Calm Mind off here as well, while at it. Regieleki is probably the best sacrificial here, since it's quite expandable. It would be good if there would be no Trick Room, because we can Electro Ball at blistering speed and blistering power. But here, Tapu Fini does all we need. Alright, we're lowering the accuracy, that's great. Oh yeah, look at it, that's Glastrier for you, and we are actually going to win almost all the speed dice. Hopefully it's not the exact same thing, it's probably not though. Because I want to show you my point, and that is that we just win the speed die here and go for Steel Spike before they can get their attack off, and it's just great. Because that would have done over 70% if that was a normal hit, and we would not want to see that. Also, that just missed, that's hilarious. Also, we're just probably going to finish off their Glastrier here, because we are Life Worked and I'm Dynamaxed. And we are Dynamaxed, great. Fantastic. Also, we're having... Do we have no music? Excuse me. No, we do have music, but it's too quiet. Alright. So yeah, other than that, this is quite an easy matchup to finish off right now. And again, assume we're having actually a faster Glastrier here. Also, I believe I turned up the music way too much, so I have to tune it down a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's kind of a chore to see the rest of the battle right now, so I've just swapped to Hyper Fast. Hyper Slam finishes that off. And yeah, we still got Incineroar in the back, ready to taunt, ready to Burning Shot, ready to fake out. Yes, you can use Burning Shot as the last Pokemon. He will just lower the stats, but he won't switch out. So yeah, that's the matchup guide for that. Alright, this start against Wolfeys team is going to be quite drastic, but trust me, you should be able to win regardless of how awful it looks from the start. So basically what we go for is a prediction that they predict us to not Dynamax, and we do not Dynamax. Extremely risky move, because if we Dynamax the Finny here, we pretty much win automatically. Oh yeah, cool note, we actually outspeed Coalossal right now at -1. If it's at +5 speed, we still outspeed it with Regieleki. So we're gonna go for that. Yeah, quadruplating the Coalossal plus Electro might not be the best idea for the opponent, so opponent probably won't go for it. Now this position looks very scary, but thanks to our great defenses on Dusclops, we are going to take this Grassy Glide and we're going to go for Pain Split onto the Rillaboom. And it's not even close actually, look at that, 23%. We get a lot of health back, and life is just great right now. We switch into our Glastrier and we just reverse sweep now, and there's nothing the Wolfeys team can do about that. Incineroar is just straight up going to get sniped by Nightshade plus Max Quake, double up. Grassy Glide still does a lot of damage, but with Grassy Terrain we still survive. And the rest of the game is pretty trivial. We KO Coalossal through Protect, so it doesn't really... Wow. Yeah, we still survive with a Pain Split. And yeah, Glastrier just finishes that off. Yep. Well, that's a game. GG. Alrighty, so what is that? That's dual horse team, and I should probably swap the sides so you understand the game a little bit better. Sorry about that, I sometimes forget to do that. Alrighty, Regieleki Clefairy is supposed hard counter to this, but if we just do some annoying plays, we can maneuver around that. The worst move opponent can go for here is to go for a Protect on Clefairy, which means they will get a guaranteed knockout on Regieleki. And we cannot Electro Ball that Clefairy. Electro Webbing doesn't really make much sense, although it could make sense, but if they go for... If they're Life Orb, it's going to be quite painful to see. Because that just straight up goes... straight up goes the Regieleki with Max Lightning, they just go for the... And next turn they go for Helping and Max Lightning, which can just straight up go the Glastrier. What am I even talking about? Yeah. It's quite a complicated situation, but it's probably better to go for Electro Ball though. Just so we can get a lot more damage off. Yeah. Yeah, if they go for Follow Me though, it's kind of bad, so that's why I went for it. Oh yeah, and Urshifu plus a Rillaboom is not able to finish this game off. As you saw, the close combat hit him at 30%, so yeah. It didn't do that much. And Wicked Blade finishes this game off, so perfect. We win against this archetype as well, although I originally thought this was a ad loss. But if you still got trouble against this archetype, don't forget to try running Max Push Defense Dusclops. Alrighty, so Sunting. How do you deal with that? Torkoal Venusaur is probably the most common lead you're gonna encounter, since it looks like and plays like a hard counter to this, but it couldn't be farther from truth. Wait, how's that phrase used correctly? Well, basically, it's a lie. Because feeding plus onto the Glastrier switching is absolutely perfect, and there is nothing opponent can do about it. You get attack boost. Eruption actually did much more than I thought it would do. Yeah, that's probably because I'm used to seeing AD Glastrier here. Ooh, we got knocked out by the critical hit. This was a roll. If that was not a critical hit, this was a roll. So, kind of a shame we see that KO. Heatwave actually misses, but it would not have KO'd Tapu Fini here. At least I believe. And Regieleki is the last one, which is quite annoying, but we still got Incineroar, Fake Out, Moonblast. Yep, that's game. I just realized I'm reading this quite. Yeah, you see that, that's 50%. If that was single targeted, it would have been like 20%. So yeah, we just protected Tapu Fini. Yeah. If you're seeing me quite tired right now, that's because I got like 6 hours of sleep and I actually got my second COVID shot today. Can't see that, but yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, hooray! I might go to VGC RL tournament soon because I was vaccinated the second time. Anyways, that's another one, and let's move on to another matchup. Oh yes, the Nutcore. So there are multiple leads opponent can go for. Probably the best lead is to just try to do something with Regieleki or Urshifu and then have Dusclops plus Glastrier to try to finish off the late game. Oh yeah. So again, predicting Glastrier Protect, so no big deal. That did a lot less damage than anticipated. By the way, we still outspeed Thundurus, even if it's a +1 speed, because Regieleki is Regieleki. And yeah, Glastrier is our only possible switch in because yeah, Incineroar would not have been that much of a good idea. We also kind of lure in a double up there, which is great. So yeah. And we survive. I believe I choice band Sucker Punch with a Intimidate switch in, so that's great. We kill the Thundurus, close combat finishes off the Incineroar, which is kind of a shame. Nihilego switches in, which this last position is actually quite dangerous, but we actually go for Dynamax with Regieleki and protect with Glastrier, which is supposed to just straight up throw the opponent. By the way, yes, Urshifu with choice band is quite common on this archetypes, and yeah, and I doubt the opponent will not go for a Glastrier double up because Meteor Beam plus close combat is just so free, especially since you know that Regieleki is locked to Electro Ball. That's just not that effective. And yeah, we would even if the opponent got a Power Gem Nihilego, we would have finished it off with Electro Ball from Regieleki. So yeah, nice. The Rain Steela matchup is always annoying to just get around. And yeah, I'm assuming Upper-Late's Kingdra plus Politoed, which looks kind of nice against this. As helping again, Max Geyser might just straight up KO Dusclops. Yes, we outspeed the Kingdra here, and at -1 speed we actually outspeed it with Urshifu as well, since this team runs a very bulky Kingdra. Yeah. Glastrier switches in. Yeah, by the way, this is Choice Banned Roller Beam, so it wants to switch out against this Glastrier. Next Dragon. Opponent might, yeah, I did the Protect just because opponent might double up the Urshifu with Max Dragon plus Grassy Glide, which might be annoying to deal with. Or it might go for a Fake Out as well if it's not Choice Banned, so yeah. Now we are ticking on a timer. We need to get rid of this Politoed because it's a... yeah, I assumed this Scald wouldn't knock out Urshifu, so I went for a Heavy Slam, but yeah, basically we need to get that Politoed removed right now, or else its Scalds are instant. Oh yeah, we need to get rid of Riddle Beam in time. Yeah, alright, so that was the other way around. But yeah, Wood Hammer doesn't do that much to Glastrier. Max Hellstorm, KOs Riddle Beam, nice damage, good stuff. And now Tapu Fini wins this late game, a 1v1 against the Celesteela. It's kind of weird to see both Specs and Band on such a defensive team with Lightning Rod, Raichu, and Sugar Berry and Leech Seed Celesteela actually. But yeah, we just straight up knock out the Celesteela next turn with Muddy Water, I believe, so yeah. Oh yeah, and Glastrier is super heavy, so the Heavy Slam doesn't deal that much damage to it. So yeah, that's this matchup. Alright, this is where I left off since the last recording like 5 days ago before I got sick, so small reminder that information I'm gonna say right now, from now on, I might not be as fresh and as accurate right now, alright? So keep that in mind. You can probably guess it by a changed t-shirt, and the fact that I used this background at the start of the video. But yeah, let's go and watch Torn Metagross. So against Torn Metagross, Regieleki Urshifu is the best thing you can do. That's because Regieleki is really fast. Yeah, Electroweb. Unfortunately, the common Torn Metagross team, at least on Victory Road, it uses Ivakenberry Tornadoes, and we miss it here. But the important part is we slow down the Tornadoes, so yeah, this happens. I mean, basically, Steel Spike wouldn't KO in conjunction with Brutal Swing, because Brutal Swing happens after the Steel Spike, and yeah, Sucker Punch actually finishes it off right here, which is hilarious. And believe it or not, Glastrier actually finishes this game off right now. It's really oppressive, so yeah. Regieleki plus Urshifu is the best way you can approach this, and then breaking Glastrier after Metagross is taken care of. Now watch this. Glastrier is probably going to faint right now. My mom is calling me right now, but I'm gonna delay it. Oh, for a second, yeah. Hail. Thank goodness for Hail, because this Urshifu is taken care of. And now Dusclops. Yeah, even it's like, yeah. You might think Dusclops actually faints to Specs Electro Ball, but because we got some special defense investment, yeah, we survive this attack. Nightshade, Bucket Blow, GG. Alright, so this is the Torn Metagross matchup. Alright, so one of the best counteractions to this team is actually a modest Spectrier. Now, that means you're gonna lose all of the Spectrier's speed ties, because there is no speed tie, but that comes with one advantage. You do have pretty good chance of simply one-shotting opponents in Incineroar, unless they go Sugar Berry, of course, but Sugar Berry is not that common. With Modest Nature, you get that extra chip of power that allows you to simply KO the opponents in Incineroar, and that's just great. Right? You also got Taunt, so you can, if they got Porygon 2 on that team for some reason, you can taunt the Porygon 2, because otherwise you do not touch Porygon 2 with Shadow Ball, right? So Taunt is the way to deal with Porygon 2, and Max Phantasm is to deal with Dusclops. You're golden with this set. But it needs a counteraction to Electric plus Urshifu lead, so watch out for that. You might need to get in some Incineroar, Finny. No, Finny not. But Lionel is somewhere on your team, just so you can have a backup game plan against this combo. Rotom-Heat is of course a great counteraction. It resists almost all of the Glastier's hits, except for Max Knuckle, which is weaker in Max form. With Nasty Plot, it can simply tweet KO Dusclops as long as it somehow manages it got allies to taunt the Dusclops from Haze, but Nasty Plot, Max Flare does a lot of damage. Oh yeah, this is actually you tweet KO Dusclops after Max Flare. By that I mean in Sun you tweet KO Dusclops with 2 Max Flares, so that's great. You exert a lot of pressure on Dusclops, and opponent cannot exert much pressure to you. Of course, watch out for opponents in Incineroar, since that will be their primary way of dealing with you. It will be parting shotting. And yeah, Finny doesn't have much power in Sun against this, especially since Rotom-Heat can hit it with Max Lightning. Another counteraction, of course, is a Incineroar. Taunt stops the Trick Room. Fake Out. You can Fake Out there Incineroar first, and you can just gain some kind of advantage this way. Parting Shot is great to weaken the Glastrier, as you can Parting Shot, then bring yourself back in, intimidate the Glastrier. You're golden. That's what you want. And actually, you can Dynamax against the Urshifu plus Elect and simply KO the Urshifu with Max Flare from Flare Blitz. So that's great. Oh yeah, and also with this EV spread, with this 92 defense, you take Life Orb Max Quake from Glastrier, even actually at -1. If it's neutral, you just simply faint. That's the way it goes sometimes. You can run Sugar Berry, as I've said, and like remove all this defensive investment and put it in offense, so you actually exert more pressure on the Dynamax form. But yeah, it's probably not highly recommended. Celesteela, as I've shown, exerts a lot of pressure onto this team, but alongside Grimmsnarl, it needs Grimmsnarl or some speed support against the Trick Room, or it's going to just get out-pressured. Life Orb Max Rockfall should one-shot Incineroar, which is great. You get special attack boost and then you just start rolling. Max Steel Spike does major damage to Dusclops, does major damage to Finny, which it probably outspeeds outside of Trick Room, and it does major damage to Glastrier as well. Of course it does. Max Airstream. After a single Max Airstream, you also outspeed Urshifu, which is great, since that allows for +2 speed, +1 special attack. Perfect. And yeah, you can run Assault Vest set, but Life Orb 1 has that extra benefit of one-shotting Incineroar. Now, Stack Attack is also great, because it can infiltrate the Trick Room and give full life. So basically, you bring it in after opponent set up Trick Room and just wreak havoc. You don't get attack boost, but you can make it get attack boost, which makes it even more brutal. Basically with Life Orb and Max Rockfall, you simply one-shot Incineroar on a switch in, which is great, and you get the attack boost immediately if you got attack boosting Stack Attack here. So that's great. Max Steel Spike increases the defenses, making you take stuff like Max Quake from Glastrier, so yeah. It's a natural anti-Trick Room fit against this team. It has to watch out for Lucky and Urshifu though. And last but not least, Regieleki with Electro Ball exerts a lot of pressure onto this team as well. I believe it got 150 pace per Electro Ball against most of Incineroars, most of the Dusclops and Glastriers, so having basically a max move powered Electro Ball without having the max is just fantastic, and it exerts a lot of pressure onto this team. You can also go for Electro Up Speed Dice to slow down opponents Regieleki with your Electro before they can attack, and go for like Sucker Punch with your Urshifu to finish it off. Maybe with Volt Switch plus Sucker Punch, you get it. So yeah, the Electro Ball is the main selling point though. So yeah, for a week I finished this video, and I'll catch you next time with next Metagame Monday. The next Monday, hopefully, alright. So yeah, take care and see you later.